Naturally, we want to maximize the quality of our phone camera, and in order to do so, you'll find that using additional lenses and filters can be a real game changer. If you own a Galaxy S24 Ultra but feel a little restricted with its camera capabilities, we're sure you'll find this video very useful. Freewell messaged us to see if we'd be interested in trying out some of their products, and we were very intrigued. This video, however, is not sponsored, and Freewell has no say in what we show or what we say. Plus, the video was not sent to them for approval prior to posting. As always, we want to be 100% transparent with you guys, but anyway, let's have some fun and see what we can create.
Home isn't just a place. It's where your heart finds peace, where love wraps around you like a warm blanket. It's the laughter echoing through hallways, the quiet moments of solitude, the smells and sounds that evoke a sense of belonging. Home is where memories are made, where you are accepted and cherished for who you are. Home is not just a structure of walls and roofs. It's the people who make you feel alive, the feelings that ground you. It's the sanctuary you return to no matter how far you roam. In its truest form, home is where your soul feels at ease. So yes, there is such a thing as a home. It's where love resides, and where you find your true self.
First, there's a neutral black case for the phone with magnetic mounts which make it super easy and quick to put the filters on and take off. It also features threaded lenses similar to those on a regular camera. Now let's explore what these can do for your content by taking a look at the extremely useful ND filter first. Now you're bound to get overexposed footage in these settings, and what you could do is crank up the shutter speed, which will tame the exposure, but then you'll probably get some very jittery video footage, which we don't want because we want to get that cinematic feel. So here's where an ND filter comes in handy. Now these are super easy to use by Freewell. They are actually magnetic. So you just want to bloop on and they should click in to place. Just like that. As you can see on the footage that has the filter on, there is clear motion blur visible due to the slower shutter speed. However, when we take the filter off and crank up the shutter speed, we don't have that nice motion blur as the entire motion is sharp and focused throughout. Next, we have the anamorphic lens, which adds character to your footage, and an anamorphic lens widens the field of view and adds cinematic flares. It's also important to remember that the lens must be leveled horizontally to avoid distortion. Here's a quick comparison, and as you can see, without the lens, the field of view is narrower, but with the anamorphic lens on, the frame is wider, giving a cinematic aspect ratio and a generally cool, unique effect to your video. It instantly looks higher quality and gives the video a nice cinematic feel. It's important to note that when you're shooting with an anamorphic lens, naturally the image will be distorted, so what we did was shoot directly on the phone and later de-squeeze the footage in post. Another cool thing is that you can actually use the anamorphic lens for vlogging if you wish. It will give you this very unique looking effect and a wider frame. But just make sure, and this is what I recommend, is to turn off the built-in stabilization because it will give you a little bit of a jello effect, and use a gimbal instead. Much, much better. Now let me just show you what it looks like when we take off the anamorphic lens. So here's the difference without the lens on. Obviously it's very standard right now. You probably can't see that much around me, but it's still a usable shot. Freewell also offers various other lenses such as a wide lens, and I was curious to see what the real difference is when using an extra lens compared to the general wide lens on the phone. The Galaxy's main lens has a 23mm focal length, and as you can see, the Freewell lens is wider, though its exact focal length is unknown. The Galaxy's built-in ultra-wide lens is much wider at 12mm, making it interesting to compare all three lenses and observe their differences. The Freewell lens is useful if you want slightly wider framing without using using the ultra-wide lens, which can sometimes cause distortion and is not the highest quality lens on the phone. The main camera, on the other hand, produces better results due to its superior quality. Additionally, if you want to shoot higher resolution photos with a wider frame, attaching this lens to the main camera, which has up to a 200 megapixel sensor, will give you better results than using the ultra-wide camera with its 12 megapixel sensor. There is also the option for a macro lens, which is pretty cool. So let's take a closer look at some examples and see the differences. Samsung doesn't offer a macro lens when in video mode, so it's difficult to truly compare the differences. But as you can see with the lens on, the results are much blurrier with a minor focus on the subject, as macro lenses should be. The built-in lens, on the other hand, provides a sharper, more detailed image, but obviously it isn't a proper macro shot. So overall, these accessories are for sure cool to have, but everything has its cons. What we mainly found is that apart from the ND filters, none of the other lenses are really all that necessary. So unless you're a content creator who mainly shoots with their phone, then you may find it a little inconvenient to always carry around so much stuff, and it kind of defeats the purpose of shooting with a phone. Also, the quality will always naturally decrease because you are technically shooting with a double lens, so it's important to note that you won't get that perfect quality like you would straight out of the main lens. But these lenses and filters would be super handy if you're perhaps traveling and don't want to pack your main camera and heavy lenses. We really hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it insightful. Make sure to leave your comments down below letting us know if you've ever tried out lenses like these and what do you think of them. And if you haven't, would you try them? Make sure to also subscribe to be a part of our Versus.com community if you aren't already. As always, give this video a big like if you enjoyed it, and check out the description for direct links to the products that were mentioned in this video. With that being said, we will see you in the next video, and until then, take care.